blinded by the ones I lost, connecting lines of which we cross, dropped off the scene that side, wishing to have one more fight left in me. The life I see, what's left in me.
Alright, welcome to another episode of Jay's Finest, and today we're reviewing a 2008 Volkswagen GTI Mark 5. I almost forgot to say Mark 5, but I know a lot of these Volkswagens, a lot of people like to say, you know, Mark 5, Mark this, that, but as you can see, it's the Mark 5, and we're ready to review it because there's a bunch of mods done for it. Performance-wise, let's go ahead and review. So just to give you guys an update, I'm doing this car review thing now. It's kind of like a new thing I want to be doing since we're not doing a lot of things to the Mustang, either tracking it or putting mods on it. But I do want to review other people's car because a lot of people do put a lot of stress, a lot of hard work into their cars, into the builds, and you know, sometimes they don't get recognized, but I really want to recognize them for all the things they do. And I have had a little bit hands-on with this car, but that's another story I'll let you know about. But it's awesome to actually have this car in my channel because it's a really close friend from a job of mine. And let's go ahead and start reviewing. So the first thing I'm going to review is the performance because there's a whole list of it. Alright, since this is a GTI, so what this motor is right here is a 2.0T, which that means it's turbocharged. Alright, I have the list in my phone because this is for the first time. I'm kind of like having trouble to remember everything, but here we go. So because I don't want to butcher this word, but I'm going to attempt to say it anyways, it's a Berg-Werner K04 turbocharger kit, which is from the same year but for the R. So this is the GTI, and then they also have an R version of this, and also the S3. Those cars come with the same turbocharger that we swapped in here. So that turbocharger is literally a direct bolt-on to this car. There's nothing else you're gonna do besides obviously change the fuel injectors and stuff like that. But besides that, it's a direct bolt-on. You don't have to get any headers welded or a new downpipe. Everything came exactly in the kit. That all you gotta do is bolt on to your car. Also, this has the S3 fuel injectors. Reason why? Because once you upgrade the turbo, sometimes your fuel injectors cannot put enough fuel into your motor because there's more air going inside. Therefore, you need to upgrade the fuel injectors. So what he did is put the S3 fuel injectors. Now, the next thing he put was the Autotech HPFP. So what that pretty much is, once you upgrade the fuel injectors, you do also have to upgrade the fuel pump, which is the high pressure fuel pump that he upgraded in the back. So therefore you supply enough fuel to your fuel injectors so your car can run the fuel injection, if that all makes sense. So therefore you don't blow up your car, but everything comes for the reason. So when you upgrade one thing, you go upgrade the next thing. Alright, so the next modification is the DV Relocation Kit. Alrighty, so pretty much what I just told you right there, which sounds very complicated, is this. This is pretty much a wastegate, but since you upgrade the turbo, what happens is that the K04 does not come with that, so you have to actually relocate it over here. So this is something that tends to fail in a lot of cars. So the good thing is that you want to relocate it here just in case something does happen to it. It actually you can replace or fix it. And as well, because back there the turbo is back there, you can see it right behind that heat shield. That's where the turbo is located, so you don't want all that heat to be there and then that gets to be worn out, because remember, this is plastic, this is how you control the wastegate and everything, so electronically speaking. So the good thing about this, it comes with this long tube you see right here, goes all the way right here, and that's what that kit is. Alright, and everybody's favorite part, which is a 3-inch downpipe catalyst. So therefore you can shoot flames and you can smell all the fumes that everybody loves to have. Just kidding. That's actually for, you know, you can have less restriction to the car. Yes, it's not the best thing for the environment, but you know what? You get better performance, no restriction, and it's a 3-inch downpipe from eBay. That's not a bad thing. It's a budget bill. It's not bad. The car works. It's still good. It's not rusted or anything, I say eBay it or no bay it. It's not even a word. And to match up with the downpipe, we actually have a AWE 2.5-inch catback exhaust, which honestly it sounds really good on this car. When he was driving up here, I can literally hear it driving up, but it's not something that's overbearing, that's super loud, that it's over every other car with a muffler and things like that. It's actually a really good tone to it, and it actually sounds really nice. So you want something that sounds good, I think you should go with this exhaust, because I'm hearing it in first person. Let's see if we can record actually how it sounds on camera. I don't think the camera does any justice to it, but you know what? Let's see if we can do it. But that's the exhaust he has to match up with the downpipe. Alright, and we have another mod that is not inside the motor, but it's a lowering spring. The struggles of trying to record, people come in with the fucking music. Ting Tech lowering spring, hopefully I said that correctly. Let me tell you the specs of the front to the rear. Alright, so in the front is 1.5 inches lowered from factory, and as well in the rear is the same exact thing as the front, is 1.5 inch lowered than from factory. Alright, and behind the radiator he does have an upgraded front mount intercooler, but unfortunately how these cars work, the front mount is actually behind the radiator and in front of the fans, so it's kind of like wedged in between there. He was telling me how fun it was to put that on the car, taking everything apart, pretty much taking 90% of their whole front end out just to go ahead put a new front mount intercooler. But hey, what you gotta do for power upgrades, for more cold air for your turbo, but for this car that's how that works. So he has an S3 front mount intercooler behind the radiator. Alright, and for the intake, I'm pretty sure I'm gonna butcher this word. I'm butchering everything. It might be a German word, I have no idea. The News Speed intake. So this intake is literally a direct bolt-on special to this turbo upgrade. It goes all the way there and it goes all the way down. So yes, this does not come with a cover, so it does get a little bit of heat soak, but if you drive fast enough, I'm pretty sure you got enough air going in there and all the hot air will go out. Just kidding, not really, but the good thing is that you get at least more airflow to the turbo, because that's something you do need. And because you put this intake here, you can also hear a lot more turbo noises, which you probably might get that later on. But this is the intake he has on his car. And to hold all the power down between the transmission and the motor, we have an EEZ Stage 2 clutch kit on this. And at first, my friend was very skeptical, thinking that's going to be very heavy, really hard to drive. And I told him, listen, a lot of Stage 2 kits now are really smooth in the sense of it feels almost OEM, but they can hold more power. And so far I've gotten good news from him saying that it does feel like OEM pretty much. The fact that you can hold now more power, and the fact that you can feel the bite, you can do everything with the clutch. I don't know how much horsepower it can hold up to. Alright, and for the sway bar he has here, he has an H&R sway bar, and that obviously helps to stiffen out the car a little bit, so therefore you don't have too much sway. Even though once you lower your car you do get a little bit stiffer, but at the same time you always still want to upgrade that as well. And what you get with these sway bars, you have two options. You know, most sway bars have three options. Well, this one has either soft or hard. So either you want to be a baby or you want to be a man and put in the hardest thing, so you can take turns hard and not worry about your car swaying anywhere. Okay, this is something you can't see, but behind this wheel he has a Bilstein V8 shocks. Alright, so this is the brand wheel that he has on. I cannot pronounce to save my life, but here it is. So the specs of these wheels are, they're 18 by 8.5 from the front to the rear, so they're not staggered or anything like that. And the offset is 45, because if you get anything more or less, you're gonna start rubbing up there, so you don't want to do that. So this is a perfect spec if you want to have a good stance on your car. So the specs of his tires, Michelin Pilot Sports, they're 225 40 18. So these are a spec you can put on your Volkswagen if you're curious, and this does not rub at all. So if you want to have something that's not gonna kill your fenders, this is a good spec for your car. So let's talk about the interior. So we already talked about the performance, we're talking about suspension he has in the car, and let's go ahead and talk about the interior. Alright, so a lot of the mods he has done to the car interior wise are the shifter right here. What he has here, so I can read it from my phone, is a Forge Quick Shift Short Shift Kit. So what that pretty much allows you to do is to lowering the rate of how much you move the stick. Pretty much that you can shift a lot quicker and the shorter throws. You don't have to spend 3 hours trying to throw the gears in. It's actually better for racing, better for driving all around, and so far it's done really good for him. And of course, to run all these mods on his car, from having a bigger turbo, having better injectors, better fuel pump, there's a tune that you have to put on the car, and the tune is called Relocation Stage 3. So that pretty much that tune allows you to run with this turbo upgrade, which is obviously the KO4. And there's no access port. He actually flashed that tune into the car, so it's pretty much embedded into your car. Alright, so that's all the mods that he has done so far to his GTI. I really appreciate him for bringing the car so I can go ahead and review it. But we're not just done yet. Now we're gonna go for a little test drive so we can go ahead and hear all the different turbo noises it makes and the exhaust noise that it makes, so you guys can hear for yourself. Now obviously I can't do roller shots because I don't have another camera guy with me, but we're gonna be in the inside so you guys can have a feel and hear how it sounds. And of course my reaction. Why not, right? So we drove a little bit. He's still breaking in the clutch, by the way, so the clutch is still new. So but thank him for actually go ahead and driving me right here driving me, and so I can hear all the turbo noises, everything that he put on the car. Because honestly, it has a little stutter thing that I don't know how to explain it, but that's the one like the STIs and WRX have when they upgrade the turbo. Little I know it's a very stupid way of making it sound, but it sounds real nice. And the exhaust is good. Like I said, it's not loud, it's not droning, it's something overbearing. Obviously I'm sitting in the front, I don't know how it is in the back, but I'm pretty sure it's not as bad because he does have a muffler on it, so it does kill a lot of the drones and stuff like that. But so far it sounds good, and it feels nice, like it pulls. I mean, even though I do drive a truck and anything pulls against that, but let me tell you, it puts a smile on my face because this car is also obviously it's lightweight. It doesn't weigh too much, and then you can just go ahead and have fun with the car or something like this. Obviously, it doesn't matter how the world's fastest car, if you have 400 horsepower, as long as you like what you're doing and it has good enough horsepower, make all the right noises, I think it will feel real nice. And so far this GTI has done a lot of smiles in my face. I need light. Alright, and we're done with this review. This is my first review of a Volkswagen GTI. That's how you say it in German, I guess? I'm just kidding. Anyways, I'm really glad to review my friend's car. Honestly, it's been a huge blessing to review this car. I know he's worked hard for it, and it's cool to go ahead and talk about all the guys that have worked on the cars that a lot of people don't really see them working on the cars, but they're like behind the scenes that nobody knows about working on their car, and I'm glad I get to do it. I had a lot of fun reviewing this car, honestly. This is something I might also do new on the channel, so I can get more obviously content around. You guys get to see a different variety of cars besides the Mustang or the WRX. But finally I get to review a German car, and I had a lot of fun on there. I hope you guys like it. Also, always remember to like and subscribe and give a thumbs up because that really helps my channel a lot. So thank you and peace out.